Alright, welcome back to another reaction video, and today we're going to be talking about the many failures of men in gacha games. Now, men do not sell. Yeah, I mean, it's true, to be honest, let's be real, right? But we're going to see what's going on with this and why men don't sell in gacha games. Before we start, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe if you're new. Don't forget to share the video. Let's get that out of the way. And also, goal is 3 likes and 4 new subscribers. Let's see if we can hit that goal. And y'all have been supporting a lot, so thank you for that. Let's get to
Male characters don't sell. Gachas can only succeed if there are waifu games. How many times have you heard?
Oh, that is true, actually. Wasn't there actually a gacha game that literally stated we won't add male characters in this game, by the way, guys, just to let y'all know, like before it was released or something like that? I swear I heard something about that.
Something along those lines. I've been playing gachas since roughly 2011. However, I didn't hear the constant talk of how gachas need waifus until the late 2010s. I'm not sure what exactly started it, but for the last couple of months I've been wondering how true this idea was. Do gachas need waifus? Are men simply fated to flop? So I decided to look into it, and having now done that, I want to share my discoveries, speculations, and personal thoughts. This is
I get my thoughts right now. Just even though it's 30 seconds, I get my thoughts. To be honest, I don't think they need just females to be able to survive. It's literally male only gacha games that make a lot of money. And also, a lot of gacha games also add in male characters, which banners go crazy sometimes. It's just, you gotta hype that you probably gotta hype a male up more than a female, because most people are like, oh my god, it's cute female, bye. Instead of like, oh my god, it's just a dude, but he looks sick, you know.
Firefly. She is a character from Honkai Star Rail, and she has an incredibly successful banner. The Sensory Tower website shows that Star Rail earned roughly $90 million of revenue on mobile platforms, $60 million in China, $30 million in global, during June when Firefly released. However, this comes with some caveats. On the day of Firefly's release, June 19th, there was a bug that froze revenue for 5 days straight on Android devices, meaning we don't know how much money she earned on Android for the first 5 days. Characters earn most of their revenue on the first couple of days, so it is incredibly likely her actual mobile revenue is in the 100 millions. Not only that, this website does not track estimates of PC or PS5 earnings. This is simply speculation, but realistically, she had one of the most successful banners in the game's entire lifespan.
Of course, Sensory Tower is not 100% accurate, but it is a good way to get a rough idea of how successful any given game was. To be honest, I believe it's right. Obviously, we know that Sensory Tower is not 100% right, but like it's the closest we got. Unless y'all have the insight where y'all gonna just take their revenue reports yourself and then post them online. I mean, it's the best we got.
How and why was she so successful? Well, let's look at 3 core factors: design, marketing, and popularity. In terms of
Yo, hold on. I remember the Destiny Child game. That was a fire game. All right, let me stop pausing though.
Design, she isn't anything special. A typical cute girl in a cute dress, but it is effectively executed. A nice green dress with a black coat, fairly unique gray hair with green tips, black and green leggings, and overall she has a subtle butterfly motif. Simple, but very effective. However, there is one thing about her that greatly stands out.
Like fireflies too, I will fight for myself until everything burns to ashes!
Her dope as hell battle armor, aka Sam. Power Ranger, Kamen Rider, Gundam, whatever you want to call it, this is sick. Firefly is basically a 2-for-1 deal, which lets her tap into 2 very lucrative markets: cute girls doing cute things, and cool battle robots. Players who normally wouldn't summon for a cute anime girl did summon for her because cool mech suit, and vice versa. The marketing for Firefly was quite frankly insane. She got 4 videos in total, a Keeping Up with Star Rail trailer which explains her gameplay, a myriad—
Wait, did she get 4 videos? She actually got, what the heck? I didn't even know that.
Celestia trailer which shows some of her backstory, as well as an animated short explaining even more of her backstory, and finally, a character trailer which is simply a cool video showing her off. Now, to be completely transparent, Firefly is not the only character to get 4 trailers. Ever since version 2.0 release, characters have been getting bigger marketing campaigns behind them.
They got
but
more
it's
money.
Still impressive nonetheless. However, this is not where her marketing ends. She also got a massive push in the game itself. Firefly made her first appearance in version 2.0, where the player basically goes on a 2-hour-long date with her, and then she dies. She returns at the end of 2.1, then we spend even more time with her in 2.2, and finally she is the main focus of 2.3, which is also when she officially became playable.
This is why everyone knew that that banner was going to go crazy, is because of this. Like, it was obvious that banner was going to go crazy. Everyone knew everyone was summoning for Firefly, no matter if she was good or bad, because the game literally makes you fall for her. Like, it's not even in a sense. It's literally the game says, look, his character is fire, right? It's great. Kill. Oh, dang, you never getting her. You never seeing her again. Oh, wait, you do see her again. And then all her banners, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm definitely pulling for this because we just had an anime mode. Anime mode was turned on when it came to Firefly.
And finally, popularity. Safe to say, because of the massive marketing push both in and out of the game, her importance to the main story, and her simultaneously cute and cool design, Firefly became one of the most successful characters in the game. All of this led to the massive success of her banner. But what does any of this have to do with the claim that male characters don't sell? Well, let's compare Firefly to the character that was released directly before her, Boothill. His design is pretty good.
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't pull for Boothill, I didn't care for him.
He's a fun robot space cowboy with crazy teeth. He is definitely going for a very specific niche. You either love this design or you don't. What about marketing? Well, he only has 2 trailers, a keeping up with Starwell to explain his gameplay, and a character trailer to show him off. And that's it. Compare that to Firefly, who released directly after him. Safe to say, MiHoYo had a favorite. As for his in-game marketing, he may as well not exist. His first appearance was in 2.2, the same patch he released in, and he quite literally does nothing. He just talks to and hangs out with Don Hung for a bit. He has a total screen time of maybe 10 minutes. He could be deleted from the game and nothing of value would be lost. That's how insignificant he is. Popularity wise, he's not hated or anything like that, but he certainly isn't popular. He's got a small dedicated fan base and that's about it. What was the point of me talking about these 2 characters? Simple. These 2 characters are a perfect example of a trend that the vast majority of gachas suffer from. Male playable characters get treated like dirt compared to female characters. A female character getting heavily focused on and a male getting virtually zero attention is not a rare or unique situation. Most if not all gachas that have male and female characters suffer from this exact same problem. Genshin, Punishing Grey Raven, E for Gazer, Tower of Fantasy, Wuthering Waves, etc, etc, etc. This treatment is one of the reasons why male characters are seen as less desirable. After all, if the developers themselves don't care about their male characters, why should the player? There are many reasons as to why male characters are not well received in gachas, and their mistreatment is one of them. When the marketing, story, and developers themselves are shoving women like Acheron, Black Swan, Robin, and Firefly down your throat, why would you spend your hard-earned money on some random cowboy that randomly appears for 10 minutes?
I mean, then, if I can remember, well, actually, Dr. Ratio was just hype because he was free. That's about because I don't think I ever heard, the only thing I heard about when Dr. Ratio was coming out, oh my gosh, he's free 5-star, this quick, the Genshin could never, and that was it. That was about it. So, yeah.
Does nothing and skips into the sunset. It also doesn't help that all of the women that I just listed are incredibly powerful for various reasons, which adds to why someone may want to summon for them. Boothill isn't bad by any means, but he doesn't do anything special. He's simply another DPS with—
Yeah, I just didn't feel like I needed him. I'm gonna be honest. That's also why I didn't pull him. I'm like, I don't need this. I have Acheron. I say that about almost any character though, because I have Acheron.
Decent damage.
Acheron's getting a rerun. Get Acheron.
A recurring problem with male characters is that often they are mediocre at best or just straight up bad. Very rarely are they overtly good. And let's be honest with ourselves, a lot of the time, male characters are nowhere near as well designed as females. Jiaxiao is a 5-star, but he's literally a fancy NPC. And that—
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I thought he was a 4-star. Like when I first saw him, I was like, that's gonna be a 4-star character. And it was a 5-star. I didn't get him because I didn't really care for him. I was like, oh, I thought that was going to be a 4-star character.
That is a reoccurring problem with male designs. The amount of men in suits or suit adjacent clothing is absurd. This picture perfectly exemplifies the problem with most modern male designs. Suits by themselves are fine.
I mean, I feel like they did good with what's his name? Aventurine though. Like I think Aventurine outfit actually is fire. The other two I really care less about, right? But like this is generic for Will and Luocha. But I think Aventurine's actually was pretty good.
But when all you give me is suits or something similar to that, I start to lose interest. Starwell, please, I implore you to find some new drip for our masculine friends. If you can give us a streetwear graffiti ninja girl, you can give us a sumo wrestler guy. Or
Yeah, they're never gonna do that. But yeah, Rappy is fire. I'm sorry, Rappy. I'm getting her. I'm getting her.
perhaps a dope looking futuristic space Viking, or a rough and tough biker, or a cop, or anything creative, you know? Stop giving us people in suits. There are so many things you can take inspiration from, just be creative. You gave us a stripper ninja, why not give the ladies some nice eye candy as well?
Did you just say a stripper ninja? What? So, I don't know where you're getting that from now.
One of, if not the biggest factor as to why people summon for characters is the waifu/husbando factor. When artists give the women really good, high quality.
I mean, we gotta be real, right? Who mainly plays Gacha? Dude. So obviously they're gonna have a lot of female characters, right?
Quality, well thought out, and unique designs, and then turn around and make men fancy NPCs, it's really hard to grow attached to and justify spending money on male characters. That's not to say there are no good, well-designed men in gachas, of course there are. As long as you ignore those suits, in a vacuum, Starwell actually has some of the best male designs I've seen in a long time. Arknights also does a good job with their men. I don't play the
I don't play Arknights
game, but while doing research for this video, I looked into it, and not only do they have a lot of playable men, they are well designed. The only complaint I have is the sheer volume of suits and coats. Shocker, I know. But even the women have the same problem, so it seems to be an artistic choice, so I guess it's fine. From what I can gather, the men are also well written and treated from a story perspective, which is nice. However,
I feel like now that I think about it, Aventurine actually popped off in my opinion. Like as for like male character wise, he was actually pretty good. He popped off because he was in the story. We literally walked around with him for about a couple of hours, and to all the way to the end until he got. I still don't know if he's dead or not. I don't know if he's got murked or not, but until that part happened, I still think it was pretty good. It's pretty good to me at least. I think Aventurine actually was fire
from a gameplay perspective.
But Boot Hill wasn't. I'm sorry. I barely knew the dude. He was a Galaxy Ranger that was supposed to fight Acheron, and that just never happened. So I was like, oh, okay. All right.
A lot of them seem to be tanks. It's very uncommon for a man to not be some kind of defensive unit, as opposed to the women that can be pretty much any of the classes. Even if a male unit is good, because so many of them are tanks, it can be difficult to justify spending money on them, since realistically, you don't need 30 different tanks. Also, if you're curious why I keep talking about Starwell, it's because 1, it's popular, so if you're watching this, chances are you have a base understanding of the different examples I'm bringing up, and 2, it has perfect showcases of all the topics that I'm talking about. Speaking of, remember how I mentioned that men usually aren't treated well? Well, let's see what happens when a man actually gets proper treatment. Aventurine is a character that was released in version 2.1.
Yeah, I told y'all, Aventurine did good. Like, he was actually the only, well, so far, I think he's the only dude that I actually wanted to pull on, because I was like, this man's story, he was in the story, he was a main part of the story, his character's actually good, his character's actually interesting, and he even went out on a banger. Like, he came in with us hating him, and he went out with us like, bro, that man was actually a true G.
1. And he is a very well received character. Gameplay wise, he is the best tank in the game currently.
Yeah, that as well, by the way. I mean, let's be real, that as well.
So he has high summoning value. Design wise, a lot of people like him. Obviously, this is subjective, not everyone likes him, but in general, he was well received. Marketing wise, he was the second character to get 4 trailers, which helped grow his popularity. And story wise, he has one of the best written and emotionally impactful stories in the game. He played him.
Yeah, because wasn't he like a slave or something like that? And then he went from a slave to end up owning his own freedom. And now, I can't remember exactly what it was. I know his people was like prosecuted against or whatever. But and then now he's a slave again, I think. I don't 100% remember. I'm gonna be honest. That story was so long ago. The only main thing I do remember from that arc was something about Firefly. That's about it. But I swear his backstory was something about him being like his people was being enslaved or treated wrongly against because of who they were.
A minor role in 2.0, which was mostly just setting him up for future appearances. 2.1 was about him, a multi-hour long story where we learned his backstory, current goals, hopes, dreams, fears, had a boss fight against him, and an emotionally impactful ending. All of this made him a very popular character in the community. I tried to find estimates on how successful his banner was, but couldn't find anything. My guess is that he was the most successful male banner in the game, but I don't have any evidence to back that up. The point being that when you treat a male character the same way you would a female, they can be just as popular and successful as a woman's banner. Another problem is how outnumbered men are. A lot of gachas are waifu games, meaning they only have female characters, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, we know what Snowbreak doing. They learned their lesson.
Developer wants to make a waifu game, then that's their prerogative. The problem is when developers have both men and women. Instead of actually having a rough 50-50 balance, they usually have an 80-20 balance, or worse.
I'd say most that I've seen had about like a 90-10 balance. Like it'd be like for every like out of 10 characters, 9 of those characters would be female and 1 of them would be a dude. That's what I see most of the time though.
For every 5 women that get added, they release 1 man. A good example of this are the recently released Wuthering Waves and Zenless Zone Zero.
Okay, we can't count Zenless. Okay, we all know Zenless is for Gooners. It makes sense why they released what they released. I'm gonna be honest.
Was released with 6 men and 10 women, almost a 2-to-1 split, which is actually pretty good, believe it or not. As of version 1.4, 8 new women got added and only 2 men. So the balance will be 8 men and 18 women. More than half the roster is old.
You know the thing about that though is the last dude that got added, people were simping for that man.
Already dominated by women, and it's only going to get worse with time. Now let's look at Zenless. At launch there were 4 men and 11 women, almost a 3-to-1 split. As of version 1.3, 7 women were added and only 2 men.
See, I can't accept this because Zenless is literally a Gooner game. I'm sorry. If you want to, oh my gosh, I like the game. The gameplay is fire. I'm gonna be honest. But the game is literally made for Gooners. So it makes sense why they would release characters like that, like more female characters than male characters, because look at their marketing in itself, right? they know their fan base. They know that it's just Gooners and they want to get more Gooners. Look at Jane Doe, okay? We know why Jane Doe came out. But anyway, yeah.
6 men, 18 women total. And
wait, is Bernice out yet? I don't think so.
Exact 3-to-1 split, and this split will only get worse with time. We know that there are a lot of women on the horizon, the idol group as well as Miyabi, and while it's not confirmed to the best of my knowledge,
can't wait till her come out, bro. I'm pulling on that character so fast.
This furry lady is probably gonna be playable.
Oh yeah, she is.
There's also a leaked woman that I'm not gonna talk about because, you know, leaks. Section 6 has a male member that will probably release alongside Miyabi, but that hasn't been confirmed yet. And it's also possible that Big Daddy might be playable, but that's honestly just pure speculation. Which means, at bare minimum, we have a confirmed 5 women releasing in the near future and only 1 man. Because like I said, the furry lady and Big Daddy, to the best of my knowledge, are not confirmed to be playable in any way. They might be, but that's just speculation. The problem with the gender split is the borderline false advertising. Wuthering Waves, Zenless, and other gachas make ads that focus equally on both genders, which makes it seem like they will release a fairly even 50-50 split, but in reality, they
do? Since when was this? Hold on, I don't think so. I mean, it may just be because the ads that they probably portrayed to me, because most of the ads is just, oh my gosh, this character is so cute. It's a female. Look, go download our game now. That's the ones I see though. Maybe it's because I play Nikkei.
Heavily favor female characters and randomly fart out low effort male characters in order to placate that side of their player base. It always gets to the point where I question why even bother pretending. Why not just make a waifu game and keep all of the men locked in NPC jail?
So it's no big Zone.
It's because you want to tap into the lucrative husbando market without actually putting in the effort to make those characters as high quality as your women. Believe it or not, gachas weren't always like this. Back in the day, there used to be a much healthier balance between men and women. Let's use my glorious king, Brave Frontier, as an example. This was one of the most successful gachas of its time. It was released.
Yeah, I don't know if I can't remember if I made videos on it back then, but I did used to play this game. I used to play this game a lot, bro.
Released in 2013 and lasted for a couple of years. There was a good balance of men and women, as well as some monsters and robots sprinkled in for good measure.
Wait.
Of men
All right, so I had her. Oh, let's see where I had her. I don't think I had that one. I definitely didn't have that. I definitely didn't have that. And then, yeah, I didn't have that either. I had these two though. I did have these two.
Women, as well as some monsters and robots sprinkled in for good measure. Of course, some characters were more successful than others, but there wasn't a clear bias like in modern gachas. And as you can see, everybody was equally over-designed. If you think these guys are crazy, trust me, it gets so much worse. But you know, in a good way. Also, waifu-centric preferred gachas did exist back in the day, but they weren't the default. Summoner's War is another good example of an older gacha with good gender balance. Fate Grand Order is a great example of a gacha that treats its male characters surprisingly well, considering how big its waifu culture is. It has some of the best written men I've seen in any medium. The writing of Oberon is on a whole nother plane of existence. I'm not going to explain it because I don't want to spoil it for anybody. It's that good. But you also have more well-known characters like Emiya, Archer, and Gilgamesh. And of course we have Dragon Ball Dokkan Battle. Look at all those big, beautiful muscles.
I mean, it makes
Honestly,
sense. It's Dragon Ball,
anime-based
okay?
gachas have a fairly balanced gender ratio. Or in Dragon Ball's case, they heavily prefer men. Now, a lot of gacha players will tell you that the reason men don't sell is because gachas are by nature waifu games. They live.
What is this? Okay, I
need
to go back to that.
Cute / hot / sexy / underage. Whoa, did I say that? / thick / sexualized they are. There is.
You know, I really don't understand that part that they have with that.
Some truth to this.
I don't understand it because it makes no sense. Like, just make them all adults, bro, please.
But not in the way that you think. For a long time, most gacha players were men, and a big aspect of gacha games is waifu culture. A lot of players played gachas simply because they wanted to build a harem of cute anime girls. That in and of itself isn't a problem. What is a problem is the overt hatred that a lot of these players have towards even the idea of men being playable.
I mean, it's true. Like, why would I want a dude in my game? Like, excuse me? No, I'm just playing. To be honest, I really could care less. As long as the character looks good enough, I pull for it. As long as the character is strong enough, I pull for it. Mainly the strong enough part, because I don't want to sit here and spend 80 hours because I'm playing characters that I like to see. Bro, I'm gonna be honest. I will plop on the most horrible looking characters with Jane Doe because Jane Doe is hot, and I got something to look at, and I will just run through everything.
Honkai Impact 3rd is a waifu game, but it's an open secret that the developers wanted to add playable men at various points in the game's lifespan.
Yeah, that is actually a thing that happened, and people said no.
Otto and Kevin were 100% planned to be added at some point. Others like the Flame Chasers and Siegfried and maybe even Crow were also highly likely planned to be added at some point. But why weren't they? Well, a large portion of the player base hates the idea of men being playable, to the point where they have actively, verbally attacked the developers and other players. Shockingly, 2 men were eventually made playable. Adam in the side game mode called A Post Honkai Odyssey, and the male main character in Part 2. Both of these characters were massively hated, especially Adam. Hilariously, the male main character was eventually deleted from the game. Players are forced to play as the female main character after reaching a certain chapter in the story, where in that story chapter, quite literally, the male main character gets deleted from existence. It is hilarious. Sadly, this is something that happens in a lot of communities. This overt hatred stops developers from making male characters even if they wanted to. Why risk players attacking not only you, but other players as well? Recently, a male character called Lighter got revealed for Zenless Zone Zero. Somebody in the comments expressed how they were excited to summon for him, and somebody left a response saying this: "I hope he gets deleted." Is this a joke? Maybe, maybe not.
I think it's a joke. I'm gonna be honest, this is no way that's for real.
What matters is that a massive portion of the gacha community unironically will say things like this, and so much worse. If you don't like the dude, guess what? you don't have to summon for him. Not only that, his existence made you have time to save resources for your next big titty goth mommy character, because that's definitely the character that you're going to summon for, totally. And like I said before, there's nothing wrong with wanting a waifu game. I have played many.
I think we should get more Jane Does. I'm gonna be honest.
Many of them in my time, and I will continue to do so. Destiny Child, my beloved! Even though, let's be honest, the vast majority of waifu-focused gachas aren't good. There are very few exceptions. Destiny Child, my beloved! Again! But the active harassments of players and developers is not okay. If a developer wants to start adding male characters as desperately as the Impact 3 developers wanted to, they should be allowed to do that. It's clear to me that those developers were very passionate about those characters, and it sucks to see that they weren't able to complete their vision. The weirdest thing about this whole topic of whether or not male characters can sell is that it became a self-fulfilling prophecy. Back in the day, the 50-50 split was never seen as a problem. If you wanted a waifu-focused game, you had options. But at some point in the late 2010s, this idea of waifus began to infest the community. A lot of resentment started to build in players, and developers took notice, and it became a vicious cycle. Players hated the idea of male characters, so developers started to treat them worse. Story, gameplay, designs all dropped in quality. And because of that, players who did want to summon for men either stopped summoning them or quit the game altogether, making male banners less successful, giving male-hating players more fuel to talk about how men sucked and gachas live and die by their waifus. Round and round the wheel spins. Are you ready for the big twist of the video? What's especially funny is that if you look at the top 10 gacha games currently on the market, most of them have both genders available. Yeah. So this idea that men don't sell and that gachas are at their core waifu games, waifus are the only thing that matters, is blatantly untrue. However, that does not negate the fact that on average, male banners are far less successful than their female equivalents. The only exception to that would be the anime games like Dragon Ball, Bleach, Naruto, etc. I honestly believe that males can be just as successful as females. Gachas are not a man-dominated market anymore.
I think they can, because I mean, like, you see when you do it right, it actually pops off. When you see like Aventurine, for instance, they did it right and then he popped off. Let's see who else. Hold on, I gotta think about this one. I'm not exactly positive. The only one I know is Aventurine, to be honest. Were there one in Genshin that popped off? I gotta think about that actually. I mean, I guess you could say John Lee maybe, but it's only mainly because he kind of got overpowered, right? Oh, Norvalet, I mean, that's one. He was powerful too, but yeah, that's one right there. I think they did good with that one.
Anymore, no matter how much gooners want you to believe it is. And there has always been a market for male characters, both from male and female players. However, if those players are going to spend their hard-earned money, things need to change. Or at the very least, go back to how things were. The question is, will things change? I honestly don't know. Currently, there is a gacha game focused on the female market that is very successful called Love in Deep Space. The game released in February of 2024 and it earned roughly 50 million in revenue. In July and August, it earned roughly 40 million, and in the remaining months, it earned roughly 30 million, which makes it one of the most and consistently successful gachas currently on the market. Recently, in September 2024,
should I play this game? Because people are really loving this Deep Space stuff.
Love in Deep Space was #1 top grossing in China, which is extra impressive because China players absolutely despise men. What this proves is that there is a very lucrative market for male characters. Now, Love in Deep Space is basically a dating sim, otherwise known as an otome game, with action combat, which does limit its player base, but other developers don't have that problem. miHoYo, Kuro, and other developers that make mixed gender gachas.
I think Kuro can do it. I do. They designs is actually pretty fire. I think miHoYo can do it as well. Like with Zenless, because everyone looks unique, so I think that they can actually make a character that looks unique and actually fire and actually looks cool enough to summon for. I don't know why they didn't do that with the biker one, but whatever, I guess.
Can very easily target a more general audience with their male characters and rake in the cash. But in order to do that, like I said, things need a change. Bad, boring, uninspired designs, uninteresting story arcs, bad gameplay kits, low marketing, and of course the weird hatred that a lot of people have All of these things stop male characters from reaching their full potential. But what can you, the paying customer, do to change things? Well, for starters, you can put your money where your mouth is. When a game that you played,
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I can care less what character gets added, long as they are strong enough, and if they are an adult that is fire as heck, that looks good, like Jane Doe, I will pull for it. But other than that, mainly I care about the strength though. Like if they strong, I will pull for the character because I want to clear stuff.
does release a male character, support them. Responsibly spend your money on them. Like and share their trailers and other marketing materials, make fan art and other creative projects. Respectfully tell the developers that you want more male characters and offer feedback for future male characters in satisfaction surveys. A big reason as to why developers don't think men will sell is because the discussion is being dominated by men hating gooners currently. So join your hands with—
Yeah, because like like I said, it's a lot of people that probably just don't care about, like, long as they got a good character. But the thing about it is, most of them people not really, you know, online trying to attack developers for putting something in the game. They just like, I like the game, I play the game, and I'm done. Okay.
with your fellow husbando enjoyers, form a united front, and let your voices and wallets be heard. Hey everyone, Vladimir here. Hope you enjoyed the video. I would really appreciate it if you guys left a like, dislike, comment, subscribe, or don't. It's up to you. And if you somehow aren't sick of my voice yet, then feel free to watch one of my other videos. Just press on one of the videos on the screen.
Sexy rap.
Either way, thank you so much for watching. And
yo, I may have to watch this. I may have to watch this next. Anyway, well, if I ever do, y'all know I will. But make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe if you don't forget to share the video. And I just wanted to say, make sure you go subscribe to this man as well. Like, link is in the description. I think this is actually a pretty good video, by the way. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna watch one more of his videos, probably subscribe to it at that point, right? But I'm gonna be honest, this is actually pretty good. Like, this was a really good video. I liked it a lot. It gave a lot of sense, it gave a lot of context. I hope that my commentary was good enough too. So other than that, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe if you do not forget to share the video. And also, if you did like my video on it, make sure you guys like my video, comment, and subscribe as well. Which, like I said, like goal is at least 3, and with at least two more subscribers, I guess. I don't know. I don't remember what I said at the beginning. Anyway, I'm about to be out of here. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.